Hello and welcome to the Seth Joyner Show. Well, just when we thought it couldn't get any worse, it certainly has. The Philadelphia Eagles went up to the Meadowlands and essentially laid an egg. A team which has spent the majority of the 2023 season searching for itself had back-to-back games versus two teams with a combined win-loss total of 8 and 23 leading into those games. They took the Eagles down in back-to-back weeks. The Birds looked like they had little to no fight in weeks 17 and 18. It's time for my breakdown. If there ever was a week for the Birds to get right, figure it out, and come out swinging, it was week 18 versus the New York Giants, one of the worst teams in the National Football League, and they mustered up the will and belief that they could beat a playoff-bound Eagles team and proceeded to not only beat them, but completely dismantle them in the process. The Eagles have floundered through a most promising season from week 1 through week 18. The one thing we all knew is that this defense was going to be challenged this year. Between the lack of talent at linebacker and the question marks at safety, it was not a mystery that this unit would be the team's weakest link. But the Week 14 demotion of Sean Desai and promotion of Matt Patricia has proven to be a panic move that has created more damage than any of us could have imagined. They look confused, unmotivated, slow to react, and uninspired. A Giants offense that averaged barely 250 yards in total offensive production posted 415 total yards on this defense last week. And the most egregious thing about it all was that Patricia and the defensive staff had no adjustment or answers for the players at all. They kept doing the same thing play after play, and the Giants kept destroying them series after series. On the offensive side of the ball, the stubborn mindset of Nick Sirianni and Brian Johnson has gotten to the point of pure coaching negligence. Their stubborn insistence to not run the football and take what the defense has given them has left the media and fans flabbergasted. The most puzzling thing of all is their philosophical mindset versus the blitz as an opportunity to take shots down the field and chase explosive plays. This is how they've coached Jalen Hurts to operate, and the rest of the NFL has adopted the blueprint to blitz the offense and Hurts at an unprecedented rate. I don't blame Jalen because it is the coach's job to give him the remedy for this instead of putting him in a position of having to play hero ball under constant duress. They do not have hot routes or sight adjustments built into this offense, and in all my years of experience in playing and covering the game, I've never witnessed such coaching negligence. I will not absolve the players either, because the one thing that the players possess, notwithstanding the fact that your opponent may be bigger, stronger, or faster than you are, is effort. And when I watch this team play, the lack of effort, intensity, efficiency, and enthusiasm, that should not be an acceptable thing from players, but also from the head coach, Nick Sirianni. If he cannot hold them accountable and motivate them to give maximum effort, this team has bigger problems than we all could have ever imagined. The coaches and players have been searching and trying to find themselves all season, and after 18 weeks and losing 5 of the last 6, they haven't figured it out and found any answers. Why are we to believe that on Monday night, when they face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in an NFC wildcard playoff matchup, that they're going to miraculously find their way? That's my breakdown. Up next, we'll dive a bit deeper into what's ailing the Birds and why they're sliding into the abyss with a playoff wildcard game on the horizon.
When you open the BetParx app, you're in the zone. Winning is always a rush, but the money is in the moments. It's the anticipation of another face card, the thrill of an extra spin, and the pure joy of a jackpot. It's all your favorite games at your fingertips. Plus, get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. You play for fun, you love to win. You bet. BetParx.
This is Seth Joyner, top analyst for the Birds. I've also analyzed the best auto dealerships, and I drive a Davis Honda.
Fall into savings at Davis Honda. Over 300 cars available. And right now, get rates as low as 0.9% at Davis Honda in Burlington. Plus, you'll get 2 years of free oil changes on every new and used Davis Honda vehicle. See why Davis Honda continues to win outstanding awards for sales and service, including the highest award from Honda, the President's Award. Get to Davis Honda in Burlington.
Fall into savings at Davis Honda.
Welcome to Bridgeview Partners, where IT and business innovation merge. We're not just another tech company. We're your strategic partner in navigating the ever-evolving digital landscape. Our team of experts tailors cutting-edge solutions to fit your unique needs, and ensuring your success is our top priority. Elevate your business with Bridgeview Partners. Discover the power of partnership and tech innovation today. Contact us now to experience the difference. Bridgeview Partners, where innovation meets excellence.
If you understand that success is built on trusted relationships and dependable performance, Mid-Penn Bank is the right bank for you. We're on a mission to prove that the right bankers can make a big difference. We work harder, we get things done, and we're in your corner. With financial centers strategically located throughout the greater Philadelphia region and new locations in central New Jersey, we're ready to bring you the best in commercial and personal banking. Call or visit us today to connect with a professional Mid-Penn banker. Member FDIC. Go Eagles!
At Revolution X, we know that fortunes are made in times of uncertainty. Are you selling your investment real estate? Are you interested in deferring your tax with a 1031 exchange? At RevX, we're experts in 1031 exchange planning and the use of passive real estate options using DSTs. Not in the midst of an exchange and want to invest in real estate but don't know where to start? Revolution X has institutional grade real estate options for any size investor right now. Set up a consultation at RevXWealth.com. RevX, defer the tax, maximize the gain.
This segment is brought to you by Davis Honda of Burlington. Welcome back. I'd like to offer a possible explanation for some of the offensive and defensive woes. First of all, on the offensive side of the ball, if this offense doesn't get to a place, especially versus the blitz, teams are coming at Jalen Hurts at an unprecedented rate, and trust me, Todd Bowles will have this defense ready to blitz Jalen Hurts as much as they have to, especially if they can get him behind the chains on first down. They need to take what the defense is given. They need to, lock in on running the football and stay in balance. And most important, versus the blitz, you've got to break some routes off and give Jalen some early opportunities to get the ball out of his hands. You cannot continue to keep taking deep shots down the field like they have all season long without success. They got away with it last year. It is not working for them this year. On the defensive side of the ball, Matt Patricia just needs to simplify things and give his team an opportunity to play full speed. Players can't play 120 miles per hour with a lot of doubt in their mind. They need to be sure that when a play is called, that they know what their responsibilities are so that they can now communicate with the players on either side of them, or those in front or those behind them. Okay? So next, I think that we all know that this team is far better than what we're actually seeing. And, believe it or not, it's fixable. It's fixable if they would just get out of their philosophical way and understand that what they've been doing has not been working. So you cannot continue to just bump your head against the wall over and over expecting a different result. That, by definition, is insanity, okay? Again, I will not lay all this at the coach's feet. The players have to have some responsibility in this all. I've been on teams where a call came in and I wasn't sure about the call, but it's our job to execute what's called. And if you got 11 players all on the same page, the probability of you being able to execute a defense, whether you believe in it or not, is much more higher than having that doubt in your mind. They've looked non-competitive. They've looked lost. And, this staff has got to figure that out. Next, confidence-wise. Confidence is a byproduct of success. And they've had a modicum of success throughout this entire year. Hey, they got to 10-1, but right now they don't look confident at all. They seem to have been broken ever since the loss to the San Francisco 49ers. Listen, nothing's impossible, but right now I have little faith that they're going to figure it out and turn things around in this wild card week. Everything is on the table for this team right now. I'm not one for call for anyone's job as far as Nick Sirianni is concerned. But I honestly believe that if the Philadelphia Eagles travel down to Tampa Bay and lose in the fashion that they lost to the New York Giants last week, I believe that Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman will have to sit down and have some serious conversations about where this team is heading and where they are at this point in time and whether it all can or cannot be fixed. All right? Coming up next, Brad Feinberg joins me to talk fantasy football and betting picks for week 1 of the NFL playoffs. It is Wild Card Weekend.
When you open the Bet Parks app, you're in the zone. Winning is always a rush, but the money is in the moments. It's the energy of being all in, the passion of a perfect parlay, and the pure joy of a jackpot. It's another opportunity to win big every day of the week. Sign up for Bet Parks and get a welcome offer today. You play for fun, you love to win. You bet. Bet Parks.
This is Seth Joyner, top analyst for the Birds. I've also analyzed the best auto dealerships, and I drive a Davis Honda.
Fall into savings at Davis Honda. Over 300 cars available. And right now, get rates as low as 0.9% at Davis Honda in Burlington. Plus, you'll get 2 years of free oil changes on every new and used Davis Honda vehicle. See why Davis Honda continues to win outstanding awards for sales and service, including the highest award from Honda, the President's Award. Get to Davis Honda in Burlington.
Fall into savings at Davis Honda.
Welcome to Bridgeview Partners, where IT and business innovation merge. We're not just another tech company. We're your strategic partner in navigating the ever-evolving digital landscape. Our team of experts tailors cutting-edge solutions to fit your unique needs, and ensuring your success is our top priority. Elevate your business with Bridgeview Partners. Discover the power of partnership and tech innovation today. Contact us now to experience the difference. Bridgeview Partners, where innovation meets excellence.
JP Mascaro and Sons is a family-owned, locally operated solid waste service company in business for over 60 years. You've seen the red trucks with the blue elephant that symbolizes strength and reliability. Mascaro is different than other national brands. Like the Birds, Philadelphia is home. They'll take care of all your waste removal needs. They have it all: an experienced workforce, state-of-the-art equipment, a cutting-edge recycling center, and their own disposal facilities. Call 888-MASCARO or visit jpmascaro.com.
At Mandrecchia Law, we win big personal injury cases, but we always tell our clients up front that those cases almost always hinge on how much insurance coverage people or companies have. At Mandrecchia Law, we don't sell insurance, but we're experts at helping our clients make sure they have the right insurance to protect their businesses and families. Do you have the right insurance? Most people don't. For a consultation, visit mmattorneys.com or call 610-584-0700. Mandrecchia Law, aggressive attorneys who get the job done.
This segment is brought to you by Bet Parks. Welcome back. Follow my next guest, Brad Feinberg, at Brad's Best Bets for his Wild Card Weekend picks, props, parlays, and picks. Brad, how are you, my friend?
Better than the Eagles are doing, Seth, I'll tell you that. And I was asking, I know off air, have you ever seen a situation like this where a team that was this good record-wise is cratered like this? So it's pretty crazy to watch in live action.
Yeah, the Birds are stumbling to the playoffs. Do you see any hope for them?
You know, it's interesting, Seth. It's very, very difficult. And look, you played the game. You were one of the best players, you know, at the highest level. So you'd probably be able to answer that better than anyone. But, like, usually when things are going like an avalanche like this, it's just really hard to stop it. The one thing that I can remember, the year that Peyton Manning, Seth, won his one Super Bowl with the Colts, I remember the Colts couldn't stop the run to save their lives. And I mean at all. And then once the playoffs started, they stopped the run at an elite level. They went from the worst run defense to being elite. And so I guess it's possible for it to happen, but I think the odds are slim and none. And even if they win this game, Seth, I'm fully expecting San Francisco to absolutely destroy this team if they get that far.
All right, let's get to your picks. Let's start on the fantasy side. What players and defense are you feeling for Wild Card Weekend?
So I'll give you underrated. I like Matt Stafford. Look, you know, I hate to use the term revenge game, but look, he's going back to Detroit where he was a great quarterback there for many, many years, and playing in a dome against a team that stops the run really well in Detroit, but not so great against the pass. I love the way with Nakua and Kupp. I love Stafford. I think he's going to put up a really big game, Seth. He's being the bottom price in the bottom half of quarterbacks. I don't see why. I say he's a really big game. Running back-wise, I like Jahmyr Gibbs of Detroit, and that, listen, he's being priced too low. 5 of his last 10 games, Seth, he scored 25 or more fantasy points. The guy is a crazy, explosive player. I think it's going to be a great game, but I think Gibbs is a huge part of Detroit's success. Receiver-wise, Seth, I'm going to go with the tight end. I'm going to go with David Njoku of the Cleveland Browns. This guy's been an absolute monster with Joe Flacco. 4 straight huge games, very cheap. And you get a guy that's cheap, that's putting up those kind of numbers. Give me him. And defensively, Seth, not cheap here, but I like the Buffalo Bills going against Pittsburgh. Should be bad weather in Buffalo, Seth. And I just don't trust Mason Rudolph in those conditions to have success. You have to pay up for Buffalo, but I think it's still a good value as the second most expensive defense because I think they could get a lot of turnovers against Pittsburgh.
All right, so what players in defense are you fading for Wild Card Weekend?
Well, Seth, despite the college he went to, and by the way, congratulations to Michigan winning the national championship. But C.J. Stroud, has had a great year, a super talented player. But Seth, it's funny. Right now, he only has Nico Collins to throw the ball to, and not having Tank Dell. I think a team like Cleveland, with Schwartz has been great as defensive coordinator there, can really stop a one-trick pony. And as great as Stroud is, he's being priced very, very high. I think the Browns' defense is really, really good, Seth, against the pass. And being down weapons, I would not be backing C.J. Stroud this week. Running back-wise, Seth, Raheem Mostert is the 4th most expensive price running back. That's insane to me. Yes, he led the league in rushing touchdowns, but Devin Achane's there full-time now. I think Achane's the better back. Kansas City is a very good defense on top of it. I have no interest in paying up for Raheem Mostert this week. Wide receivers-wise, Seth, look, this guy's had a great year, but Stephon Diggs is being priced as the top 5 wide receiver still. Let's be honest, Seth, he just doesn't deserve it. His last 8 weeks, 6 of the 8 weeks, he scored single-digit points, and only 1 week has he scored more than 15. Ever since Joe Brady came in as offense coordinator, they've changed the script there. It's become a running team. I don't think long-term it's necessarily beneficial to them. I think you want the ball in Allen's and Diggs' hand, but I'm not paying up for Stephon Diggs. And defensively, Seth, this is the easiest one of the week. The Eagles, overrated. The 3rd most expensive defense, Seth. Do I even need to explain it? I mean, Seth, I'm pretty confident in saying right now you step in, you probably be a top 3 defensive player you're this exact second on that defense right now. And you're laughing. You're like, you know what? Maybe I should call them up. I could help. And I'm not even BSing. I actually believe that. But yeah, in the Eagles defense, how can you pay up for a defense that's playing like this right now? So it's interesting, Seth. I've got to ask you a quick question. Seeing some of the schemes I was seeing them broken down on Twitter, they're talking about how they're bringing the guys in coverage, the defensive linemen in coverage. You as a great technician, do you see things that you're shaking your head at on what they're doing defensively that you're like, wow, maybe if they call different stuff, it could turn around?
Well, they're searching, and when you're searching, it creates confusion not only for the coaching staff but also for the players. So they're struggling. There's no doubt about it. All right. So as we roll into the anticipated time of the season, give me your top 4 betting picks for the 6 games on the wild card slate this weekend.
Seth, I like the over 43.5 in the Chiefs-Dolphins game. Seth, I mean, the Dolphins have had so many injuries on the defensive side of the ball. It's crazy. I mean, they're missing more or less, except for Jalen Ramsey, all their good defensive players. And I do think there's a good chance we're going to get Jalen Waddle back in the game. Obviously, you have Mahomes, you have Tua, you have some great offensive players. Weather's not going to be ideal, but I think I think both teams hit 20 in this game. If they both hit 20, pretty good chance we get at least 44. Give me order for over 43.5 in the Chiefs game against Miami. Next, Seth, I'm going to take the Rams against the Lions, getting 3.5 points. So I think this game's dead 50-50. The Rams, when they're healthy, in my power ratings, I have them ranked ahead of Detroit. And the thing was, they have not been healthy much of the year because Kupp was out so much of the year and Stafford was banged up. When this team is healthy, Seth, this is not a team I want to face. I think you can argue that they're the second best team in the NFC when healthy. Give me 3.5 points in a game that I think is going to be 50-50 going down the end. Really like the Rams here getting 3.5. I'm going to take Buffalo, Seth, laying 9.5, maybe 10s in some places now. But even if it's 10, I still like Buffalo. Weather may not be ideal, but, Seth, I don't think Pittsburgh is going to score many points at all on this Buffalo defense. And I think Josh Allen and company will do enough to score at least in the mid to high 20s, 24, 27. And I think Pittsburgh's going to be held to maybe single digits. So I think it's going to be a rout. Give me Buffalo. And, Seth, the last game, look, I'm going to give you just those 3 as my official picks, but I'll talk about the Eagles game because I'm sure everyone wants to hear my thoughts on that. Look, right now, the key here is if you like Philadelphia, you got to lay 2.5 because half the sports books have 2.5, Seth, half have 3. If you like Tampa Bay, you got to take the 3. If you like Philadelphia, make sure you're laying 2.5. Seth, look, they played before, and Philadelphia really looked good in that game. Gun to my head, I think the Eagles win a close game by about a field goal. I think it's going to be a close game. Lean here, Philadelphia. Slightest leans because Tampa Bay stinks. That's their biggest thing. That's the best deodorant they're going to get. Is Tampa Bay's not a good team, Seth. Slight lean to Philadelphia, but I'm not betting it.
All right, Brad. Always a pleasure, my friend. I'll see you next week for the divisional rounds.
Appreciate you, Seth. Good luck to everyone out there.
You got it. Make sure you download the BetParks app. Like me, you love to play, you love to win. You bet. BetParks. Coming up, my closing thoughts and predictions for not only the Eagles versus the Bucs, but all the games on Wild Card Weekend.
JP Mascaro and Sons is a family-owned, locally operated solid waste service company in business for over 60 years. You've seen the red trucks with the blue elephant that symbolizes strength and reliability. Mascaro is different than other national brands. Like the birds, Philadelphia is home. They'll take care of all your waste removal needs. They have it all: an experienced workforce, state-of-the-art equipment, a cutting-edge recycling center, and their own disposal facilities. Call 888-MASCARO or visit jpmascaro.com.
At Mandrecchia Law, we win big personal injury cases, but we always tell our clients up front that those cases almost always hinge on how much insurance coverage people or companies have. At Mandrecchia Law, we don't sell insurance, but we're experts at helping our clients make sure they have the right insurance to protect their businesses and families. Do you have the right insurance? Most people don't. For a consultation, visit mmattorneys.com or call 610-584-0700. Mandrecchia Law, aggressive attorneys who get the job done. At Revolution X, we know that fortunes are made in times of uncertainty. Are you selling your investment real estate? Are you interested in deferring your tax with a 1031 exchange? At RevX, we're experts in 1031 exchange planning and the use of passive real estate options using DSTs. Not in the midst of an exchange and want to invest in real estate but don't know where to start? Revolution X has institutional grade real estate options for any size investor right now. Set up a consultation at revxwealth.com. RevX, defer the tax, maximize the gain.
If you understand that success is built on trusted relationships and dependable performance, MidPenn Bank is the right bank for you. We're on a mission to prove that the right bankers can make a big difference. We work harder, we get things done, and we're in your corner. With financial centers strategically located throughout the greater Philadelphia region and new locations in central New Jersey, we're ready to bring you the best in commercial and personal banking. Call or visit us today to connect with a professional MidPenn banker. Member FDIC. Go Eagles!
When you open the BetParks app, you're in the zone. Winning is always a rush, but the money is in the moments. It's the confidence and underdogs covering, the tension before a clutch turnover, and the pride of a parlay paying off. It's another chance to win big with all-day action. Plus, win your first $10 bet and get $125 in sports bonus bets. You play for fun, you love to win. You bet. BetParks.
This segment is brought to you by Bridgeview Partners. Welcome back. All roads have led us to this weekend. 14 teams have done enough over the past 18 weeks to be in position to chase the Lombardi Trophy, while 18 teams are either headed to the first tee or on vacation to ponder next year's 2024 regular season. The Philadelphia Eagles have staked their entire season on getting back to the Super Bowl after falling short by 3 points to the Kansas City Chiefs. With success comes great expectation, and the Eagles expected and got off to a start that had them on course for another Super Bowl run. And although they got off to that 10-1 start, the last 6 weeks have been completely mind-boggling, to say the least. With 2 coordinator changes and many defensive departures, I think we all knew that the road would be rough early. But the expectation was that at some point they would right the ship and get in a groove. I believed all along that the defense would be their greatest challenge. With a new DC and the turnover in personnel, I expected growing pains. It was believed that Sean Desai would implement a Vic Fangio philosophy, and at some point, the defense would begin to exhibit some semblance of last year's success. The offense, on the other hand, is what's been most perplexing. The loss at right guard and running back were replenished with able-bodied replacements. So the expectation was that the offense would elevate to even a greater level of efficiency and dominance. From week 1, it was evident that something wasn't quite right. The passing game struggled to find itself, but the run game aided the offense until it found its footing. But once the passing game took over, the run game became an afterthought, and the explosive play philosophy took center stage. Defenses figured out that was the plan and began to create ways to limit and contain the desired explosive plays. The offense began to play inconsistent, and as Nick Sirianni and Brian Johnson continued to force the issues, turnovers began to plague Jalen Hurts and this offense. The unit has too many weapons and one of the best offensive lines in the National Football League to struggle in the manner that they have. But the coach's insistence on forcing a round peg into a square hole only exacerbated the situation. So at the time of the year when you want your team to be peaking, they find themselves stuck in neutral, trying to find a level of consistency that will allow them to produce at peak performance. Jalen looks lost at times, and the simplest of things seem to be hard to accomplish for this offense. How do you find confidence when the evidence of success has come sporadically, especially over the last 6 weeks? Well, no one's going to feel sorry for him, and teams are looking at the film each and every week with the belief that they are gettable. That much is evident after losses to the Arizona Cardinals and the New York Giants in successive weeks. The Birds now prepare for a wild card game on Monday night versus a team that they beat pretty handily early in the season. But the Bucs, no doubt, have confidence that they can beat the Birds after their slide over the last 6 weeks. I find it implausible that they can right the ship after a full season of searching and having overcome a boatload of injuries and a DC change to boot. I hope beyond hope that I'm wrong, but the evidence of how they performed over the last 6 weeks leads me to believe that this team is who and what they are at this point. And they're beyond repair leading up to Monday night's game. I'm taking the Bucs and what the odds maker are calling an upset, 24-17. In Saturday's wild card games, they begin with the Browns at the Texans. I like the Texans in a close game, 17-10. The Dolphins have to travel to Kansas City and look to be in a tailspin themselves. And although the Chiefs have not been themselves this year, I like Kansas City 24-21. Sunday's game has Pittsburgh at Buffalo. The Bills are getting hot at the right time, and I like the Bills 28-14. Next, the Green Bay Packers travel to Dallas, where the Cowboys are 8-0 at home this season. I like the Cowboys in a beatdown 32-7. And to round out the weekend, the Rams travel to Detroit. The Rams are peaking as well, and I'm not a huge believer in Jared Goff. I got the Rams in an upset in Matthew Stafford's homecoming, 24-21. That's the show for tonight. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next week as we look back on the Eagles versus the Bucs and whether they travel to San Francisco for a rematch in the divisional round or the season ends with a thud. Good night, Philadelphia, and let's go Birds.